Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video, we were discussing with feature engineering. In this video, I am going to discuss an important concept in statistics. Let's start. So this video, I am going to discuss about quantile, quartile, and IQR. So these three terms we are going to understand, and it's needed for feature engineering as well. See, quantiles. First, we will understand what is quantile. In statistics and probability, quantiles are cut points dividing the range of a probability distribution into continuous intervals with equal probabilities, or dividing the observation in a sample in the same way. In simple terms, a quantile is where a sample is divided into equal sized adjacent subgroups. For example, the median cuts a distribution into two equal areas, and so it is sometimes called two quantile. Median means you are familiar with the mean. Mean is the average. You need to understand these two terms. One is mean and the next one is median. Mean means it's just the average. For example, when I am taking two numbers 4 and 5, what is the mean? You will add 4 plus 5, the whole divided by 2. If you consider 4 and 5, then the mean is it is 4 plus 5 divided by 2, and it is equal to 4.5. This is the mean. But when I consider median, what is median? For example, if I have 5 numbers, then the median is you need to arrange the numbers in the ascending order. Then the number comes in the center, that we call it as the median. For example, you have numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Then 6 is the median. You need to arrange the numbers in the ascending order, and the number coming in the center, in the middle, that we call it as the median. See, we can understand, like for example, as I told you, it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We can call 6 as the median. This median, it divides this group of numbers into two groups. It's divide. So the median cuts a distribution into two equal areas, so it is sometimes called two quantile. Median is also known as two quantile. Median is two quantile. If the numbers are not in the ascending order, to find out the median, you need to arrange the numbers in the ascending order. So that's all about quantiles. So in statistics and probability, quantiles are cut points. It's very important. They are just cut points. See, this is the quantile. 6 is the quantile. Here the cut point is the 6. So dividing the range of a probability distribution into continuous intervals with equal probabilities, or dividing the observations in a sample in the same way. Those cut points are known as quantiles. Here 6 is the median is the quantile. So you understood that. Now let's get into quartile. So what is mean by quartile? See, a quartile is a type of quantile. It also divides the data points. Quartile is a type of quantile which divides the number of data into 4. That is very important. Into 4 more or less equal parts. So that's, or quarters. See, when it is divided into 4 equal parts, we call it as the quarters. So that is known as quartile. So the difference between quantile and quartile is simple. Quantile, they are cut points, that divide the sample into, equal sized subgroups. It can be any number. See, a quantile, it divides the data points into subgroups. It can be two subgroups, it can be four subgroups, it can be six subgroups, or it can be seven subgroups, any number of groups, that we call it as the quantiles. But when the subgroups are four, we call it as quartile. See, quartile is a type of quantile which divides the number of data points into four subgroups, more or less equal. They can be equal, more or less equal subgroups. Then it is quartile. So you understood that. Now I am just telling you how quartile uh, how Quartile works. See, first you need to understand, put the list of numbers in order. See how Quartile works. You need to put the list of numbers in the order, then cut the list into four equal parts. The quartiles are the cuts. I told you, when we discuss about, median, I told that median is the cut. That cut we call it as the quartile, right? So the quartiles are the quartiles the quartiles the quartiles are the cuts. So he puts the list of numbers in order, then cut the list into four equal parts. The quartiles are the cuts. So you understood. See, the steps we need to follow is put the list of numbers in order, then cut the list into four equal parts. The quartiles are the cuts. That's simple. Now I will explain how it works in a detailed manner. So as we discussed, median divide the data into halves, so that 50% of the measurement lies below the median and 50% lies above it. It's simple. We already discussed. As discussed, median divide the data into half, so that 50% of the measurement lies below the median and 50% lies above it. But a quartile divide the data into 3 points, a lower quartile into three groups. See, when a quartile divides the data into 3 points. Actually, it divides into four groups. So, how many cuts will be there? Sorry, what I am telling is, a quartile divides the data in 3 points. But how many groups are formed? Four groups are formed. See, three cuts will be there. At that time, four groups will be formed. One is the lower quartile, then the median, and the upper quartile. Those are all the three cuts. So then you will get four groups of the data set. The lower quartile of first quartile is denoted as Q1, and the middle number that falls between the smallest value of the data set, that is the median. So I told you, there are three cuts. First one we call it as the Q1. Q1 is known as the lower quartile. The second one is known as the Q2. It's known as the median. The upper or the third quartile, it is denoted as Q3, and that is known as the third quartile. So this is the way. The point is here, how many cuts? Three cuts are there. At 3 points, we are dividing the data. How many groups are formed? When you cut at 3 points, when you give three cuts, four groups are formed. So you understood that. Now this picture will clearly give you the complete idea. See, this is I told you when we discussed, these are all the steps. Put the list of numbers in order, then cut the list into four equal parts. You need to use three cuts. The quartiles, that cuts are known as the quartiles. So that's what we are going to do here. So your example is 5 7 4 4 6 2 8. So you need to put the numbers in the ascending order. That's the first step you need to do for finding out the quartile. So your example is 5 7 5 7 4 4 6 2 8. So put them in the ascending order, then it would be 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in that way, you put them in the ascending order: 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh, then, uh, uh, then, then you can understand here, like, Q1 is the lower quartile. You need to understand here, Q1 Q1 is known as the lower quartile, and Q2, as discussed, Q2 is known as the middle quartile, and Q3 is known as the upper quartile. So you, as we discussed, you need to understand, we have put the numbers into the ascending order, that is 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then Q1 is known as the lower quartile, Q2 is known as the middle quartile, and Q3 is known as the upper quartile. So we divided these set of numbers into three groups, and this three quartiles we have, that is Q1, Q2, and Q3. You understood this. Now I am discussing about another point. This is known as the interquartile range. That's also known as IQR. What is interquartile range? That is IQR. So what is interquartile range? The IQR describes the middle 50 percentage of values when ordered. See, you need to understand the formula for IQR. You understood what is Q1, what is Q2, and what is Q3. Then Q3 minus Q1 is known as IQR. It's simple. But what is that? The IQR describes the middle 50 percentage of values when ordered from lowest to highest. That means it is, the middle 50 percentage of the values means that is Q3 minus Q1. Here this is known as the interquartile range. It's three. How many numbers are there? There are three numbers are there. That's known as the interquartile range, IQR. So that is the middle 50 percentage. So that's what we are discussing here. IQR describes the middle 50 percentage of values when ordered from lowest to highest. To find the interquartile range IQR, first find the median, that is the middle value, of the lower and upper half of the data. These values are quartile 1, quartile 3, Q1 and Q3. Then IQR is the difference between Q3 and Q1. You understood what is Q1 and what is Q3. IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1, that is 7 minus 4 equal to 3. This is known as the interquartile range. So we covered what is quartile, what is interquartile range, see what is quantile. So all these aspects are very important when we consider statistics and machine learning, and in future engineering also this is really important. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.